Hi, I'm Auriel Grace, and this is a spiritual show. And tonight we're going to be talking about the magical, most beautiful stones, opals. Now, opals have there's a lot of different stories about opals and how they gained their reputations, how they lost their reputations. And so we're going to be talking a little bit more about that tonight, figuring out why opals are what they are. Now, they are a very beautiful stone, and I got a lot of information that we'll get through tonight. But I do want to introduce my sources to you. So, this book, which is it's an old book, but it's a great book, and if you can find it, it's the Barnes and Noble Thesaurus of Geology, and this book has all of the words if you do not understand mineralogy or geology. Great book for starters. And I've used this for she's almost maybe like up to 30 years because it's such a good book and it gives general information so that you can understand a little bit more about geology. A lot of the information that we're going to be talking about tonight came from this book. It's Love is in the Earth. It's a melody book. And I believe you can still get this book on Amazon. I actually bought this book in a bookstore many years ago. So we're going to be taking information from this book as well. It's a great book, and I'm giving you short versions of the different opals from this book. If you want to know more about opals, this is a great book for you to use to understand the virtues of opals. Okay. All right. So, and of course, we're going to be using my favorite book by Jenny Harding. It's called Crystals, and I know that you can get this sometimes on Amazon. So check it out and see. It's a great book. It has great pictures, and it can tell you a good basic thing about stones. So, and tonight we're going to be talking about opals, as I said. Now, hey, Kendra. So I'm going to show you a picture. Okay, so this one you might not be able to see very well, but this is a white opal. Okay. And then here is a blue opal. And I thought I had some opals here, and I don't. I can't keep opals. Every time I buy opals, they end up being given to somebody. So I don't have any live specimens for you, but I am going to be putting in the blog tomorrow some great links to the GIA website so you can check out some pictures of opals because they come in many different colors. And we'll be looking at that tonight. Hey, Mary. So, all right. So let's get this going on. Okay. So first of all, opals are October's birthstone. And I remember a long time ago, it was like maybe in the 80s. I was working for a great jewelry store. They were a custom jewelry store. And this Aussie guy came in and he had black opals. And oh my God, that was really the first time that I saw an opal. I was able to hold an opal, and they were so very, very pretty. And they came in all different sizes and colors. And these were all black opals that he had from Australia. Very beautiful. So one of the things I do want to say about opals is that when you're going to go buy an opal, make sure you're buying an opal because they're easy to create. In fact, you can go on YouTube and check out how to make an opal. So make sure that when you buy your opal, to see a specialist, it is really an opal, and you are going to pay for an opal. It's not going to cost you like $2. It's going to cost you probably between, I would say, 500, 2,000, 5,000, and up for a good opal. Hey, Kim. Hey, Courtney. Bonnie. All right. So make sure that you do that in case you are going to go buy some opals. Make sure you're going to a reputable dealer. Make sure that it is truly an opal. Okay. All right. So what makes an opal? Basically, silicon dioxide and water. That's what makes an opal. But what happens is they form these little tiny spheres. So the water and the silicon dioxide form these little spheres, and they stack on top of each other. Okay. And the water is what makes the shimmer in the opal. All right. So there's usually about 5 to 10% water in the opals. Now, when you're caring for an opal, what I was told to do with an opal is take oil and oil the opal so that it doesn't dry out. All right, because you don't want your opal to dry out. You also want to take care of your opal because on the Mohs scale, it's a 5.5 to 6. That means that it can get scratched or hurt easily. So we want to take care of our opals. We want to make sure that we've got them in a good place. If you have an opal ring, keep the box so that you can put the ring in the box. You don't want to do dishes while you're wearing your opal ring. Nope. So make sure that you're taking care of them, wipe them off with a really, really soft cloth, and put them away when you're through using them. Okay. All right. So the colors vary. Holy crap. There's many colors of opals, but we're going to go over a couple, maybe about 5 or 6 of them. So there's white opals, which a lot of us have seen, blue, pink, red, black, orange, red, yellow, with different levels of rainbow opalescence. Now, some opals do not have that really sparkly, fun opalescence, and I'll let you know which ones do and don't. Okay. All right. So again, rarity. Make sure that you find out where your opal's coming from. Most opals come from Australia, Mexico, and the United States. Okay, so if you're going to the Tucson Gem Show, which I recommend to everyone, no matter what, just to go, just to check it out, you will find opals there. And the opal dealers are very enthusiastic, and they'll tell you all about their opals and where they come from, because that's their job and they love what they do. So if you can go to the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show, it starts in end of January, beginning of February. All right. If you can't go there, go to Quartzsite. Quartzsite might have opals, but it's a great show. Okay. So it works with all chakras because there's so many different colors of opals. You can match the color of opal to your chakras. And so they do work with all chakras. Healing effects match, like I said, match each piece of opal to the chakra that they correspond to with color. For example, blue for throat chakra to open communication. Okay, so if you have a blue opal, make sure that it is like a shorter necklace so that it hits the throat, or blue opal earrings. Okay, because that will help as well, the throat area. All right. So the word opal is adapted from the Latin term opalus. I hope I'm saying that right, which came from the Sanskrit word opala, which means precious stone. Writing before his death in 70 AD, the Roman Pliny wrote of the opal as having a refulgent fire of the carbuncle, or ruby or garnet, the glorious purple of amethyst, the sea green of emerald, and all those colors glittering together mixed in an incredible way. So it is a magical stone, and when I was looking up some stuff on it, that's what people called it. We're naming it or titling it Opals, the magical stone. I was like, wow, cool. So there is even a little thing here. If you wrap an opal in a bay leaf, the person holding the bay leaf and the opal has the gift of invisibility. So that was something that people believed during the Renaissance era. I thought that was great. So, okay. So the Romans, of course, thought that they named opals because they had a goddess of fertility and her name was Ops. She was the wife of Saturn. Greeks, Opalos, and that means to see a change of color. All right. So opals were valued above all gems around 250 BC. All right. So everybody's wearing opals around that time. You know, it's like the diamond of the era. So they were pretty, you can find them pretty easily. It's just the quality of the opal that you're looking for. Okay. Just like any stone. There's the lower, rougher stones that you can use for chips. There's the gem quality stones that are a little bit more expensive. There's the opal that you can use for beads and that. And you can get opal beads from, I believe you can get them from Fire Mountain Gems. Okay. I did see a couple of months ago that you could get some raw opal from Amazon. So you want to look there too if you want to find some raw opal. Now, the raw opal I saw on Amazon was blue, it wasn't black. So for those of you who are black opal fans, I didn't see any raw. All right. So remember that as opals are being made too, we're going to be talking about some opals that don't have that sparkly opalescence or that shimmer to them. Those opals, they're still valuable, but they just are not shimmery, but they're lustrous, so they look like glass. They're really beautiful and very clear. So you want to make sure that when you're buying your opal, that you let your gemologist know what kind you want, which do you want, right? So I know that black opals go great with pearls. I've seen it. It's beautiful. All right. So during the Middle Ages, opals were considered good luck stones because the colors in the stone represented all the virtues of other stones. Blonde women wore the stone believing the stone would protect their hair from losing its color. But because of all the rainbows, the rainbow spectrum, that's where they get the magical name. All right. So Napoleon presented his Empress Josephine with a magnificent red opal containing brilliant red flashes called the Burning of Troy. Red opals are like, if you think black opals are rocking, red opals top that. They're just so beautiful and deep and very sparkly, and yeah, it's like fire. So I've had several red opals that I've made pendants out of, and wow, wow. That's all I gotta say. Wow. Okay. So opals got their bad luck thing from an actual fiction book. Okay. And it was Sir Walter Scott's Anne of Glyerstein. It was published in 1829. All right. So in the book, Anne has an opal, and it has supernatural powers. And the opal was bathed in holy water and it turned gray. And then the person that owned the opal died. Needless to say, in 1829, the sale of opals dropped half during that time, and that's where it got its bad reputation of being bad luck. So it actually came from a fiction novel. And we want to make sure, I want to let you know that I don't feel like opals are bad luck at all. I feel like they are actually pretty awesome. And as I said, pretty magical. The energy from an opal, if you can go and be near one, look at them, if you focus on the opal, you'll start to feel a lot better. You'll probably start to feel a little more centered and grounded because of it. And with the water involved with an opal too, they assist with releasing emotional goo and cooties. Pretty awesome, right? All right. So opals have been used by Native American Indians and the Australian Aboriginal shamans to invoke visions. So when they're sitting and meditating and they're connecting and they need to see, it helps with that. Native American Indians also use the stone for their vision quests. Australian Aboriginals use the stone for ceremonial dream time. So, ceremonial dream time is when they're going in a trance, they're paying attention to their dreams. For the vision quests, it's when an adolescent, male or female, goes out into the world to figure out who they are, what their place in the tribe is. Okay? All right, so here's the virtues. Okay, so we're going to talk about a bunch of different opals right now. Some of these are going to be the shimmery, sparkly ones. Some of them not. I'll let you know. But basically the elemental signs for opals are Cancer, Libra, Pisces, and Scorpio. Okay. Opals assist with creativity, inspiration, and imagination, helping us to overcome our inhibitions in all situations. So, if you're worried about what people think of you, or you're worried about what people will say about you, and that an opal can help you overcome that fear, okay? And also connect you with courage to like speak your truth or be creative and be okay with being creative, okay? Using your imagination, because what is the root word of imagination? Magic. Okay, so varieties of opals. Now, the first one we're going to be talking about is the Andean opal. I actually bought, I don't know, about 15 of these about 20 years ago. And I just, I gave them basic little wraps and put them on satin cord and took them out into the world, and they sold like hotcakes. And I was so bummed because I didn't buy more. These weren't very expensive, the ones that I bought, and they were still really pretty. They're not the sparkly, shimmery type of opals. They are like pink, different colored pinks, black, and beige, and sometimes blue. I didn't see any blue ones, but I bought the pink and black ones, which were absolutely gorgeous. The stone is used to activate the heart chakra while providing for centering and grounding. So there you go on that one. And it's actually a very beautiful stone. Okay, so the next one is black opals. All right, so their astrological signs are Scorpio and Sagittarius. They range from black to gray spectrum and brilliant sparkles, right? Because black opals, very sparkly. All right, I have not met a black opal that was not sparkly. It is an excellent grounding stone. It's great for the root chakra. All right. So Black plume opal. The astrological sign for that is Pisces. It's an excellent stone for Sufi dancing, stabilizing of dizziness, and it promotes clairsentience. So, the Sufi dancers, if you don't know about Sufi dancers, most people you will see them in Egypt and they spin. They spin like tops. And so, part of the Sufi dance is like spin, 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 spin. And so, if you are a Sufi dancer, want to be a Sufi dancer, or if you are a dancer of any kind, a black plume opal will be great for that. All right. And they don't shimmer. Blue opals, the astrological sign of Taurus. Communication stone activates the third eye. Boulder opals. Boulder opals they're usually brown around and then the center is red. Okay, so boulder opals, our astrological sign is Scorpio. They're brown, sometimes with red in the center. I've always seen them with red in the center, though. Assist with communication between conscious and subconscious, enhancing mental clarity. Cherry opal, astrological sign is Gemini. It is orange red to pink red. It activates, cleanses, and energizes the base and sacral chakras to assist with centering, stimulates clairsentience and clairvoyance. The common opal is astrological sign Libra. White, white to green, green, gray, gray to black, purple, brown. Contains no fire, so it's not sparkly. It balances the female male energy, aligns and balances chakras, facilitates alignment with the higher self. Okay, dendritic opal, astrological sign Gemini. Dendritic opal contains no fire, so it has a branching formation resembling moss, ferns, or trees. And it's really beautiful. It is. And it does look like the ones that I saw look like little mounds of moss grown into the opal. It's very pretty. Promotes growth spiritually and physically and can be used to enhance organizational skills. Fire opal. Pisces, Sagittarius, Leo, and Libra. So red to orange color contains spectral fire. So instead of it being like shimmery, sparkly, it's shimmery. So it shimmers. There's this really luster to it. And you can tell that it looks almost 3D if you can get a really nice fire opal. It looks like there is really fire inside the stone. Very beautiful. It's red to orange color and contains spectral fire. The energy is conducive to mystery, variety, progress, and change. Golden opal, Leo and Libra. Red to orange, does not contain fire, activates crown chakra, and provides energy with the alignment of ethereal chakras and assists with energizing the base, sacral, and solar plexus chakras. Green opal, Sagittarius and Aries, assists with proper positive action. Like most green stones, proper positive action. Honduran opal, Sagittarius, configured as basalt. So it looks like rock. It looks like a gray rock. So with flecks of fire through it. All right. So it's sparkly fire, though. It's different colors. Stability and provides for stimulation for each chakra. Opalized nature, Leo. Opalized nature consists of opalized shell, nature wood, limb casts, and it says bog too, but I don't know. These formations sometimes exhibit fire. Opalized nature assists one in the progression towards one's destiny. So, and I would look up that one too. I'll have links to each type of opal in the blog so that you can see what they look like. But opalized nature is beautiful. It really is. And I feel like the pieces that I've seen of, I saw some opalized wood, and it was very colorful. There was a lot of brilliant different colors in it, and it was pretty thick on the wood. So that would be something that would be really cool to have in your collection if you can get it, because it can make the whole shelf or all of the other crystals also they like start to look a little bit more brilliant because of that opalized wood or seashell. So check that out. Pink opal is Virgo, Libra, and Sagittarius. Pink and white to lavender and cream does not contain fire. It is the stone of renewal of the sacred relationship between the self and all that is. Red opal, Leo and Taurus. Red opal assists with reducing hostility and bad behavior. White opal, Virgo and Libra. White opal is colored as a milky white mineral containing a spectrum of color. It can be used to stimulate the crown chakra and to provide deep states of mental clarity. It helps one to remain calm in the middle of chaos. We all need a piece of that right now, right? Water opal, which is Cancer. Water opal is colorless and clear, exhibiting a spectral color suspended within the structure. It can be used for gazing and to stimulate visions from within the realms of eternity. All right. So that's info I have on opals tonight. With each opal, as I said before, the blog will have links to the different colored opals that you can see and appreciate, because it's fun to appreciate opals, and they are a fun stone. So I hope that you can spread the word that opals are not bad luck at all, but they're the magical stone. And it's something that you may want in your collection. Make sure when you do go to a gem and mineral show or you're going to a jewelry store that they are not synthetic opals. Okay, you want to make sure, because synthetic opals actually are really pretty too. And they do look like opals. I mean, holy cow. If you put a synthetic next to a regular opal, you may not be able to tell the difference at all. All right. That's really how close they come, but it's really inexpensive to create a synthetic opal. Okay. So it's not like when you go to buy a synthetic diamond or ruby or emerald, where they're going to basically pretty much cost the same thing almost as a diamond, ruby, or emerald. So you want to make sure that you're truly getting a real opal if that's your goal. All right. Okay, so I did want to say a couple things before I go. This is the first show since I've been back, and I think maybe not. I did a couple shows last month, yeah, but I wanted to say this. In my travels, I noticed that in each of the cities, the energy around the East Coast now, because I didn't go to the West Coast, but I was on the East Coast and Middle America, is that there is a lot of anxiety. And I have been getting readings from people who are anxious, and they don't feel like they should be anxious because their lives are okay. They have things going for them. So I feel like because there is so much anxiety about the coronavirus, and there is anxiety about um, money. Where is it going to come from? Where are we going? What are we up to? It's a collection of all of this anxiety, and we're feeling that anxiety, and we're feeling the fear, and it may make us feel like having outbursts or something like that. Please remember that, you know, to take a breath, connect to your heart chakra, and really breathe light into it, and see, is it your anxiety or is it the collective's anxiety right now? Because we don't want to argue right now, we don't want to fight, but if there's a way that we can create a strategy to help people, let's do that instead. Okay. um, I know that in some states the coronavirus isn't quite as bad as other states. Down here in Florida, when I'm out and about, I do wear a mask. I do have like cleaner cloths in my car, and I wear gloves when I get gas. So I'm doing all the protective things, and I also received a shot. So I got a Johnson & Johnson shot in late spring. And for those of you who are out there that have gotten a shot, cool. For those of you who haven't, do the things that you need to do to protect yourself and keep yourself safe, please. That's one thing that we really want to do, because I feel like some of this anxiety is the coronavirus, the pandemic. Remember to be courteous and kind, because right now that's what we need, is courtesy and kindness, right? We don't need people coming up to our cars and like yelling at us, or us going up to other people and yelling at them. We don't need that. There's enough violence in the world right now, and there is quite a bit. And so just be kind, okay? It's easier to be kind than it is to be reckless and vicious. It really is, especially right now. Mercury is in retrograde. The veils are thinning. There's still some other planets in retrograde. So we want to make sure to keep the peace. Okay? All right. All right. So next week, talking about peace, we're going to be talking about cults. So what are cults? What are cults historically, and what influences have they had, like in our communities and outside of our communities? So let's find out, because I want to help people overcome fears, and that's one of the ways that we can do it, is by talking about cults. For realies. Okay, so remember to check out my YouTube channel. It's Auriel Grace over there, because I have been creating some YouTube videos, and some of you have asked me about ascension, and so I'm going to be doing a series, or I'm in process of doing a series on ascension and what you can do to help with your personal ascension. Okay? All right. So have a wonderful week. I'll see you next week. And remember, keep your hearts open and align with the energy of love. Good night, everyone.